Whispers of steel and shadow still linger over the shattered peaks of the Azure Cloud Sect. In recap, Martial God Asura, Chapter 103, Chapter 104, Asura's bloodied path leaves both allies and enemies trembling, while the echoes of a forbidden technique hum through the air. Each step forward feels like a dance on the edge of oblivion, and yet within the chaos, unseen forces stir, plotting a reckoning that may rend the heavens themselves. Tonight, the mountains watch silently, bearing witness to a storm whose fury is only beginning to unfold. In the heart of the dense forest, the world itself seemed to shiver. Trees groaned under an unseen force, and petals, leaves, and grass swirled violently around the clearing. The very air felt thick, suffocating, as though some invisible hand were squeezing the land itself. Chu Feng and Suru froze, hearts pounding, their breaths caught in their throats. The aura that pressed down upon them was terrifyingly familiar. Profound realm. Not just any practitioner, but one whose presence dwarfed even Suru's own formidable strength. A power like this could crush mountains, swallow rivers, and turn mere mortals into dust without so much as a thought. From the shadowed depths of the forest, an old man emerged, each step deliberate yet faltering, as if the frailty of age clashed with the vitality of his aura. Clad in black, no taller than a child, his appearance betrayed nothing extraordinary, until one looked into the eyes set deep in his wrinkled face. There, a tempest roared quietly, an aura so fierce it seemed capable of devouring life itself. Despite his trembling limbs, there was a sense of impending doom radiating from him, as if death itself had paused to watch his passage. "Ancestor!" Leng Wuzui's voice cracked with reverence. The old man's gaze swept the clearing. Sharp as a blade. The Leng family's heir. Even you emerge. The Leng family truly wishes to claim Chu Feng's life. Suru's eyes narrowed, the weight of recognition flickering across her face. And what crime has this young man committed that your family seeks his death? He stands in the way of Zuir, the pride and hope of my lineage. Anyone who obstructs his path shall be removed, regardless of status. A cruel smile tugged at the corners of the old man's lips, cold as winter frost. Even someone of your standing, Lady Suru, will find no mercy. Suru's jaw tightened. And you would erase me as well? Her voice carried the chill of steel. The old man's smile widened, sinister and unyielding. Why ask what you already know? Hurling herself forward, Suru grasped Chu Feng's arm, intending to flee. But the moment they moved, the air around them thickened, coiling into an invisible cage. The pressure surged violently, locking them in place. Third level of the profound realm. Suru's voice trembled. Each level of the profound realm was a chasm none could easily bridge. The difference between her and this elder was stark. Even 2 steps below him, her freedom evaporated entirely. Profound realm cultivators drew power from the heavens and the earth, refining the body and spirit alike. Every breakthrough demanded more than mere talent. It required every ounce of will and every fragment of potential. And with each ascent, control became a knife's edge, power a storm barely contained. Lady Suru, your curiosity comes at a price, your life, the Leng ancestor intoned, each word cutting through the suffocating air as he stepped closer, the oppressive aura tightening like a fist around their hearts. He loomed above them, a predator observing helpless prey. One motion could extinguish their existence. Suru's eyes flared with panic and defiance. Old man Leng, if you strike me, my father will annihilate your family. The elder chuckled darkly. No need to remind me, but your father will never know the fate of his daughter. His palm rose slowly, drawing together a storm of profound energy that pulsed like a living thing. Before the tension could snap, a voice resonated, echoing as if from the very fabric of the forest. How do you know she will die unseen? It was not a voice from one point but from everywhere, sliding into their minds and hearts, cold and ethereal. Even the Leng ancestor froze, a ripple of fear touching his ancient bones. Leng Wuzui's spirit power shot outward, probing, searching for this unknown presence. Pain cut through him like lightning. He clutched his skull, keeling over with a stifled scream. Zuir, it's a world spiritist. The word struck like a blade. World spiritists were legends, beings of unimaginable cultivation. The Leng ancestor's expression twisted, the thrill of dominance replaced by sharp terror. Ancestor, run! Leng Wuzui cried, desperation flooding his voice. Without hesitation, the Leng ancestor swept him into his arms, attempting to retreat. But fate intervened. A half-transparent barrier sprung from the void, colliding with the elder as though the air itself had solidified. A thundering bang erupted, yet the wall held firm, unbroken, sealing the two Leng family members within its invisible grasp. With fury, the Leng ancestor struck, each blow a combination of profound energy and martial mastery. But the barrier was unyielding, and blood bloomed across his knuckles with each strike. "What is this?" Panic edged his voice as the wall continued to compress, an invisible vice threatening to squeeze life from their bones. Each successive strike cracked the earth beneath Chufeng's feet, yet the barrier did not falter. Even the ground trembled beneath the display of sheer martial force, but the mysterious wall retracted steadily, relentless. Leng Wuzui, pale and trembling, watched helplessly, whispering with dread, "Ancestor, this is a spirit formation." And so the clearing became a theater of despair and power, a place where legends clashed, and the will of the spirit formation challenged even the mightiest of the profound realm. Here, the stage was set, and the young warrior Chu Feng, bound yet alive, faced a fate entangled with forces far beyond mortal reckoning. The air trembled as if the heavens themselves were in turmoil. Trees that had stood for centuries quivered violently, their ancient trunks bending under an invisible force. Flowers and grass were ripped from the earth, swirling chaotically as if the land itself rejected their presence. A pressure unlike any mortal could bear pressed down on the clearing, suffocating, omnipresent, and alive. Profound realm? Chu Feng's voice cracked with awe and fear, while Suru's eyes widened. The aura they felt was staggering. An expert who had walked beyond the ordinary limits of mortal cultivation. Stronger than even Suru herself, it radiated power that crushed hope before it could form. Through the forest, a figure emerged. Slow, deliberate, and unsettlingly calm, he walked beside Leng Wuzui, step by trembling step. Clad in simple black, less than 5 feet tall, he appeared frail, an old man at the brink of his final breath. Yet the aura around him was no illusion. It was a tide of fury and mastery that threatened to drown everything in its path. "Ancestor," Leng Wuzui greeted with deep respect, his voice trembling under the weight of the moment. The old man's eyes glimmered with a chilling light. "Ancestor of the Leng family, never did I expect you to show yourself. It seems your clan has truly set its sights on young Chu Feng." His voice was calm, yet every word cut like a sharpened blade. Suru's brow furrowed, recognition flashing in her eyes. "So you know him," she murmured, her tone laced with unease. "Zuer is the pride of the Leng family," the old man replied, his lips curling into a smile that was both faint and terrifying. "Those who obstruct him are swept away without mercy. Even one of your stature, Lady Suru, cannot escape judgment." The ice in Suru's voice could not conceal the tremor in her heart. "You mean you intend to erase me?" The old man's smile deepened, sinister as shadowed steel. "Why ask when the answer is already clear?" Hesitation flickered across Suru's eyes. "That depends on whether you truly have the power." She seized Chu Feng's arm, turning, yearning to flee, but the pressure intensified, a suffocating cage of invisible energy, wrapping around them with cruel precision. Suru gasped. "Third level of the profound realm," she whispered, terror lacing her voice. Every level in the profound realm was a chasm impossible to bridge for ordinary cultivators. And yet, this ancient master had stepped over thresholds that even the most gifted would struggle to reach. Resistance was futile. Even though the Leng ancestor's cultivation was only 2 levels above Suru, she could not budge an inch. Escape was a thought as distant as the stars, swallowed by the overwhelming aura. This was the danger of the profound realm. Each ascendant stage a fortress of power, guarding secrets of the heavens, impossible to penetrate. Within the Azure province, many had reached profound mastery, but none had glimpsed the fabled heaven realm. Cultivation was a journey of extremes. Body, soul, and comprehension fused into one, and only the rarest talent could navigate its peaks. The further one ascended, the more the body resisted, the aura unruly, yet the power attained was incomparable. "Lady Suru," the old man's voice slithered like a serpent through the heavy air. "If you must assign blame, it falls solely upon yourself. Curiosity has its price, and you have paid it with your life." Step by deliberate step, he approached, the invisible pressure binding their limbs tighter, the smile on his face widening. To Chu Feng and Su Ru, he seemed a god among mortals. One flick of his fingers enough to crush them like insects. Su Ru's heart pounded. Old man Leng, she warned desperately, if you dare harm me and my father learns of it, your family will be annihilated. He chuckled, a hollow, echoing sound. Do not trouble yourself with such threats. He will never know. You shall die before your father learns of it. His palm rose slowly, profound energy coiling, dark and potent, gathering like a storm within his hand. Then a voice like wind through crystal broke the tension. It did not come from a single point. It emanated from everywhere, surrounding them, embedding itself into the marrow of their bones. How do you know she won't be known? It asked. The Leng ancestor and Leng Wuzui froze. The tone carried mastery beyond comprehension. A cultivator of legendary renown, a world spiritist, the words clawed at Leng Wuzui's mind as he collapsed to his knees, clutching his head in agonized recognition. It's a world spiritist, he gasped, eyes wide, filled with sheer terror. The Leng ancestor's expression drained, fear slicing through his pride. Leng Wuzui shouted, Ancestor, run! Without hesitation, the Leng ancestor seized him, attempting to flee, but an invisible barrier struck them both with unrelenting force. Chu Feng and Su Ru watched, astonished, as a shimmering, half-transparent wall materialized, locking the two Leng family members within its ghostly grip. The ancestor's fist collided with the barrier. A martial skill infused with profound energy erupted, shaking the ground, yet the wall remained steadfast, unyielding, unbroken. Blood streaked the old man's knuckles. His power had failed against the spirit formation. What is this? He roared in disbelief. The wall continued to constrict, relentless, threatening to crush everything within. Desperation ignited his attacks, each strike a tempest, yet the barrier did not waver. The ground fractured beneath Chu Feng's feet, the very earth trembling from the assault, but the mysterious formation's grip only tightened. Leng Wuzui, pale as death, whispered, voice trembling with the weight of revelation. Ancestor, this is a spirit formation. The clearing fell silent, save for the hissing wind and the aura that writhed like a living thing, enclosing all within its unyielding embrace.